You ever watch somebody walk back into hell with their eyes wide open, knowing exactly what fresh nightmare's waiting, and think, yeah, that tracks? That's Gi-hun in Squid Game Season 2 player 456 traded Escape for Revenge. And Rex is here to tell you if this return to the blood-soaked playground hits different, or just rehashes the same deadly game. Here's the setup. Squid Game Season 2 dropped on Netflix, December 26th, 2024. 3 years after the first season broke the internet, Jung-jae returns as Gi-hun, the broke gambling addict turned reluctant survivor who now wants to burn the whole operation down from the inside. Byung-hun's back as the frontman. Ha-jun returns as Detective Wang Jun-ho. And the new cast brings fresh desperation to the games. 7 episodes, all aimed at setting up the final season, dropping in 2025. Let's talk what works. Okay, Jung-jae still owns every frame. Gi-hun's transformation from desperate survivor to hardened. Revolutionary lands with brutal authenticity as eyes. Carry 3 years of survivor-esque guilt and rage. The new players aren't filler either. Park Gyu-young, Jo Yuri, and the ensemble each bring enough baggage to justify gambling their lives. They're all walking tragedies, waiting to detonate the games themselves. Still viciously creative. Wang introduces new nightmares that twist childhood nostalgia into existential dread. The cinematography hits like a neon-lit nightmare. Those sterile pastel playgrounds contrasted against rivers of blood. Wide shots framing Jung-jae like a judgmental god. It's that clinical horror that pulls you into the visceral stakes without cheap jump scares. The score stays minimal and menacing, letting silence do the heavy lifting. The frontman's expanded role adds layers. Byung-hun brings cold precision, and his power dynamic with Gi-hun crackles. 2 men on opposite sides of the same trauma, locked in ideological warfare while bodies pile up. The show doesn't shy from moral complexity either. Gi-hun's crusade puts other players at risk, forcing you to question if revenge justifies collateral damage. Now let's hit what stumbles. 7 episodes. Feels rushed. Season 1 had 9 to build arcs and let tension simmer. Season 2 sprints through plot beats. And some emotional payoffs don't land because we barely know these players before they're gone. The pacing drags like a rush hour. Subway stall out mid-season when Gi-hun's plan circles without progressing. Here's the big one. Season 2 suffers from mystery box syndrome. It teases answers about the VIPs, the frontman's motivations, the global conspiracy. Then strings you along with breadcrumbs instead of payoff. The season ends on a cliffhanger that feels less like a chapter break and more like holding. Answers hostage until Season 3. Keep dangling the carrot without feeding us, and eventually we stop chasing. Some plot conveniences border on Scorpion-level writing. Gi-hun figures out security weaknesses at suspiciously perfect moments. Alliances form with minimal trust building. And certain players survive scenarios that should have flatlined them. When the show leans on convenient genius, it undercuts the brutal stakes that made Season 1 gripping. Look, I'm giving this 3 blades out of 5. Squid Game Season 2 delivers brutal spectacle, strong performances, and enough moral complexity to keep you engaged. But it's hamstrung by shortened runtime, uneven pacing, and a cliffhanger structure that feels like half a story. If you loved Season 1's visceral social commentary wrapped in deadly games, this scratches that. It's just know you're getting set up for Season 3. Not a standalone arc. So here's the call. Dive back in if you recommitted to seeing Gi-hun's revenge play out. Because the journey's compelling, even when it stumbles. Skip if you need your season self-contained and hate cliffhangers. Smush like if you still believe one man can dismantle a death cult from the inside. Subscribe for more raw breakdowns that don't sugarcoat the flaws, and hit that bell so you catch my Season 3 reaction when it drops. Rex Riley, logging off before the next game starts without me.